Give me a 5x5. So, sorry, this was a last minute thing, and I'm doing it on a laptop, and it's just crazy. All right, I'm just gonna jump right in. Welcome, everyone. First thing I want to talk about is you guys are gonna be happy. So, as of today, Iraq, their tariffs have been adjusted. So they jumped from 30% to 35%. Vietnam is at 20, and Venezuela is at 15%. And here's the charts I'm going to show you. Can you guys see? I guess you can't see. I'll post the charts. So basically it's a push to make them change their rate. Another thing, did you guys see my post yesterday? From TC Wealth Transfer? Basically, in 2019, he said that no RI or RV is going to happen until the Epstein files get released. Well, yesterday, and that was prophesized by Kim Clement, and Kim Clement is usually right. So yesterday, something came out, and it says Mr. T is getting ready to go after hedge funds, and Maxine, the one that was with him, is going to testify in front of Congress and give certain names that of people that were involved. That was one of the delays for the reinstatement. So that's another thing they were waiting for. So like we are very, very extremely close. And I'm still sticking to my guns as far as August 1st. It's my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but my gut is just not leaving that date. And it's my opinion. Hold on. Wait, I'm just getting to stuff. Um Once that was a big delay. That Epstein thing is a big event. Remember they said they were looking for a big event to release this? This is one of them, in my opinion. Also, an article came out that again today, Marco Rubio has threatened Iraq with major sanctions unless they do what they have to do. and the sanction can be put on at any time. I'm getting to the article just to read you the part. Um, oh, Iran approves bill to remove forced euros from their national currency. I talked about that. Um, uh, Mr. T unleashes flurry of trade announcements on the eve of the deadline. The deadline is August 1st. Um, Everything is converging, guys. Everything. And it's looking like I might be right, in my opinion. I might be right. And two big people might be getting in some trouble. And you know who they are, but we're not going to say their names in the chat. And what did Frank always say? Who's going to be there at the end? And what's being talked a lot about right now? Just think about that. Hold on. Trying to get that article. Um, that's that. Oh, and the agreement with the oil is in full effect, guys. It's in full effect through SOMO. And notice the amounts are now in billions, not in trillions anymore in the IQD. Hang on. I got so much stuff I'm trying to. And it is going to be a managed float. In my opinion, in my strong opinion, my blue couch opinion, whatever. And something just came out from Mr. T. August 1st deadline is the August 1st deadline. It stands strong and will not be extended. A big day for America. And then it says RV before the deadline, August 1st. In my opinion, they're not going to extend the tariff deadline. And a lot of other things are happening tomorrow. As far as Vietnam is doing its thing tomorrow, all the countries are waiting on Iraq, all of them, to pull the trigger. I also asked about the Venezuelan bolivar, and there's a good chance that if they work with the United States of America, they will be going in the first basket. The Venezuelan bolivar, in my opinion, but people asked me, so I asked. And it won't be any more than 10 cents. So from what I heard 3 to 7 cents. Um, Peg adjustments and market liberation steps before July 31st. U.S. Treasury, IMF, Article 6 staff, and BIS are taking proactive steps before the tariffs are enforced. A country can position itself as compliant with international norms and potentially avoid trade penalties. And how convenient it is that they got threatened with major sanctions today. I'm getting the article. And I'm going to post everything in my post, just so you guys see it all. Because I like to show receipts. Um, This is from the Central Bank of Iraq, encouraging the adoption to all licensed banks. They were encouraging the adoption of environmental, social, and governance principle. I want to read you guys the article about the sanctions. Um, so Sudani is being brought in and questioned about the delay of the budget tables. Just like I said, in my opinion, why hasn't he released it? You know what I mean? Why hasn't he given the green light? I'm just gonna read you this one article and then I'll be done. This is the Treasury. And the Treasury took massive action against high-profile Iranian network, which will force them, in my opinion, to sign over the nuclear stuff, and then I think that the U.S. will let them change their currency. That's my opinion. I still think they'll go in the first basket. Whoever wants to argue with me can argue with me. Um, um, right here, this is what I wanted you guys to read to you guys. This development, okay, the same sources explained that the anticipated sanctions will affect sensitive economic sectors, including the banking sector, brokerage firms, and electronic payment companies. This could have far-reaching economic and political repercussions if they actually implement it in the coming days or weeks. This development is a direct warning to Iraqi government regarding its continued dealings with entities that Washington considers to be involved in illegal activities, placing Baghdad before difficult choices between protecting its financial and economic interests and complying with international pressures and directives. So the international pressure is the change because they're manipulating their currency and they're trying to operate with that 1310, which they're pressuring them and they're threatening them. So that's what makes me think we're about to see this rate, in my opinion. Hold on. TD, who said there's no rate in sight? Did you not hear? And there's also an article that directly talks and says that the Iraqi dinar is going to appreciate, and they're afraid that it might appreciate. From what I heard, the rate is going to come out between $2 and 2.25, in my opinion. Can you Yes, Nico, you're right. It cannot be done at 1310. I'm going to try to end and then I'll come back again. Can you guys hear me now? listen, once it changes, you should be happy with anything because you've made money on your investment at that point. You know what I mean? Nancy, hi, love. All right. Let me restart it. I'm going to restart the live, okay, guys? 1 second.